Rolling returns.
Hello.
What the hell was that noise?
What noise?
Oh, you just said hello in a weird
hello.
I was like, what? Yeah, what are you doing with that?
I don't know.
Why are you doing that?
I'm watching Lightning Returns' weird opening.
Oh man, how long has it been since time stopped?
Oh, I haven't even gotten to that yet.
I don't think they ever actually say that literally, but
thing. I'm gonna get to the actual game here. Lightning returns. Normal mode.
Fake lightnings. Oh, this is good. I was just looking at grade for an assignment I just did, and since the teacher only had a certain amount of time to look at it, he misinterpreted how I had done it wrong and gave me full credit.
Nice.
Specifically, it's like a target shooting game, and like it's just a milestone to see that it like compiled. But he looked at it and saw that like the targets move too fast, and he didn't see that the bullets aren't drawn at all. So he's like, I think they're moving too fast. I couldn't see them. But since the only thing required in the milestone was that they were drawn, I got full credit.
I was just in time to witness the end of the world.
So that's better than I expected that to go, if I'm being honest. Sorry, that was just amusing enough to me that I felt it was worth responding.
It's alright.
It's beginning.
Oh god, that's right.
The feast at the end of time. The last revelry to say farewell. The people here know that it's almost over.
Yeah. Only 13 days to go.
Only 13 days to go.
Yeah, finally. 13 days until Time Stop World.
Awesome logo. Stupid nightclub. You know what? I'm gonna skip this. Because I don't care.
Now I'm just remembering... For some reason, you saying "stupid nightclub" made me think of Homer at the beginning of Time and Punishment, just shouting, "Stupid bug, you go squish now."
Once we fought desperately together against our fates. Now he's patron of a never-ending revel, presiding over a banquet at the end of the world.
Now.
And I've become the savior.
Oh god, just stop talking. No one cares.
The game sets its worst foot forward by talking immediately.
Schema tutorial. Nope, don't care.
Oh, do you know how this game ends? Real good.
Really stupidly, I imagine.
Oh, very, very.
Savior's got a job.
But yeah, this game feels like as close to a Valkyrie Profile 3 as we ever got. Which isn't a dog on Covenant of the Plume, which is about as good of a version of Valkyrie Profile as a strategy RPG as anyone could ever make, but it's still a very different one. But it sort of has like some of that Valkyrie Profile DNA.
Sure. Do we know how much Price actually worked on this game?
Like, they were the primary developer.
Awesome.
It's really nice to see this game actually playable on a new system. It's like, I don't like the plot, it's really bad and dumb, but it has a lot of interesting ideas, and it plays pretty well.
It's just weird and fun to mess around with.
This Xbone version might also fix one of the game's biggest problems, which is that it doesn't run well at all.
Safe. I guess that means clearing out all the monsters.
Well, apparently they're all basically enhanced versions after the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, like, they probably weren't, like, strictly speaking, a proper emulator, like, a really good emulator emulates slowdown, but most people don't make emulators that accurate, because, like, unless you really want the game to contain flaws, that's generally actually one of the harder things to get it to do, to actually, like, slow down the same way the real processor would, so... You know that, but that's for the benefit of people who aren't technically versed, that are perhaps watching this.
Well, one of the coolest things with Final Fantasy 13, at least, was they got the original source of the cinematics.
Oh, nice.
And up-resed them all for the backwards compatibility.
Oh, nice.
Because obviously being on, not being on Blu-rays, they kind of had space limitations.
Yeah, they had to downsample them for the original version. Like, to cap that mild emulation rant, it reminds me of, like, people complaining that, like, oh, Star Fox runs at, like, 10 frames a second on the SNES Classic. Why does it do that? And it's like, well, that's because every emulated version you've ever played fixes that.
Yeah.
Because it's not... Unless it's on, like, Keegan, it's not cycle accurate enough to actually, like, slow down in the same places that it does on Super Nintendo.
They're faithfully recreating the experience for some reason.
Like, I think that's important for, like, a product of that nature, where the idea is to recreate it as much as possible. But I think that in this case, for the Xbox One audience that just wants to play the game they had last generation, this, like, not being that faithful is fine. You can still tell that this engine is not great at rendering wide open environments. Crystal tools.
Recovery items. I don't care, just let me buy recovery items, I get it. Whatever. I purchased a potion. Yippee. How about some more? Yeah, it's some more. I guess I should have actually read that because I forget how to use potions.
I just spotted Snow. Help me track him.
Got it. You need to hurry.
Speaking of emulation, there's a decent collection that just came out. Not the games are generally very good. I mean, a lot of them are generally very bad old arcade games. But a very fascinating collection of games that never get collected.
What's that?
The SNK 40th Anniversary Collection.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love listening to Psycho Soldier's theme song on a loop, but I mean... I'm sad to say that that's collection, as much as I'm really impressed with everything that's gone into it, it's probably gonna sound like butts. But I mean, like, it was directed by one of the people who has done the most to try to preserve old and dying video games ever? Like, of anyone that attempts that? The, former site owner of Lost Levels, Frank Spalti.
Oh, nice. Well, it's definitely got to be a quality collection.
They did, like, one of the things that is nice, they did essentially, like, passes that were designed to show you what playing the game properly looks like. So, like, they'll do, you can just sort of watch the game, a perfect run-through of the game, and you can sort of jump in and...
to try to stop it, or
neat.
Is it to use it against us somehow?
Because that can be really useful for some of these old arcade games that are just really, like, no one's ever played them, and it's hard to figure out how you're supposed to. Also, this game, it was interesting to see them move entirely to there's only ever one person in the party system.
Yeah. But hey, it means unlike Final Fantasy 13-2, which permanently had lightning in the cover, and then you never really get to play as her.
That was a really strange thing, and is what made it seem like that entire game is where I started joking that, like, in Final Fantasy 13 as a whole, Lightning is like Poochie. And not in the sense that Lightning is a terrible character, but in the sense that whenever Lightning is not on screen, people should be asking, where's Lightning? And that's an entire game of people asking, where's Lightning?
Did you notice how the people here call Snow the patron?
She also became louder, angrier, and had access to a time machine, so it's really upsetting in all forms.
Yeah.
His choice. He started out
I love how much that episode of The Simpsons, when you actually analyze the cartoon where they bring Poochie in, it's like Like, it's such a failure of a cartoon on all fronts, because it just starts with the... Like, Itchy and Scratchy are going to do a thing, and then Poochie comes on screen, plays guitar for a bit, and then it just stops.
But when are they gonna get to the fireworks
factory?
Yeah, that was basically my reaction when I found out, because I didn't, like, tried not to spoil myself. Eventually I did, though, that, hey, you never get lightning in your party or anything. And
super weird that, like, putting her on the cover and just spending the entire game looking for her, and then, like, spoilers for a weird game with a bad story. Hey, Budai! Spoilers for a weird game with a bad story. It ends with the character having, like, a magical epileptic, like, aneurysm and dying.
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've put yourself through enough to reach that.
I got to the final boss, couldn't beat it, so I eventually just watched the end.
Yeah, that ending. I think, like, pop music plays over it. It's really tonally like, what the hell were you going for?
Yeah. Also, what the hell was the point of the game?
There has to be a way to get through.
What was the point of anything in that game?
I'll look around.
Almost nothing. Like, this is one of those strange things where I like FF13 as a whole, but it is... I think I wanted to... there was a different game that I was thinking of, but I'll reuse this phrase. It is a game that is easy to remember uncharitably. And I think that fits FF13 as a whole.
Yeah. Much maligned and not always without costs.
Yeah. Budai just got to a part in Lunar 2 where a large bird is pulling a wagon, and if you search it, or ask what this is, Ruby says it's a choka. Oh wait. That's a very working designs joke. That might be in the Japanese version, but I'm gonna assume that's a working designs ad. I'm trying to think of, like, what the first game specifically referencing a character in another game is.
The end is close.
And I think it might... The first one I can think of, there's gotta be earlier ones, but the first one I can think of is the Here Lies Erdrick / May Link Rest in Peace in FF1, where you can just find a gravestone of the competition. I can't remember which is in... I feel like Here Lies Erdrick, as much as I would expect FF to reference Dragon Quest, the fact that I remember it as Here Lies Erdrick means that it probably was the English version that said that.
Is there a way to bring up the whole map in this damn game?
Probably, but I don't remember it. It's been years. Budai says FF1 and Blink, yeah. Okay.
Easy does it, Lightning. When that door opens,
Tomb reads Here Lies Erdrick in the American NES version of FF1.
The source of the chaos is
Reads May Link Rest in Peace in the American FF Origins.
Wait, can you hear me? The chaos is powerful.
It reads May Erdrick Rest in Peace in the PAL FF Origins, which would have been even more inexplicable there. Because I don't think... Like, there was no PAL release of any Dragon Quest game until 8.
That is weird.
Yeah.
What the? Who are you?
Oh, hey, it's Sarah, maybe, or not. I don't know, or care.
You're playing around in the middle of this chaos. I'm guessing you're
Sarah
not human.
died of a magic aneurysm at some stage.
You can see when you're inside this stuff?
I feel like one of the
You can't be
strangest
one of
choices
God's
made with this
regular
game
lackeys,
is,
can you?
frickin' Hope getting de-aged in this one.
Yeah, very weird.
Budai says, with this game, I just ignore the story and focus on the cool battle and costume system. That's the correct choice.
Yep, correct.
Final Fantasy XIII ends with the game declaring that a miracle happened, and that's why everything resolved, and then somehow spends 2 games claiming it's explaining that miracle and never doing it.
Yep, that is correct.
I don't understand.
I like to pretend that Final Fantasy 13 just ends there, and then in some weird alternate universe, some weird stupid alternate
Valkyrie
universe
Profile meets Majora. Some weird alternate universe where Valkyrie Profile meets Majora's Mask happens. Because that's what this thing is. And again, Valkyrie Profile also has a time system, which is one of the other reasons I bring it up.
Overclock. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's how you use potions. Okay.
I need more time. Get back to where you belong. I need more time. Fate is what it is. Destiny is destiny.
3 stars. Screw you, game.
Video game doesn't think highly of how you do. I don't think any Final Fantasy game before this, or obviously since, really had this whole battle rating idea going
Listen,
on.
Hope, I need
13
more
games
info.
do it. I'm not sure
Can you
anything else
analyze
ever
this
did.
chaos matter
Yeah,
for me?
not really.
I've
Weird.
been trying to do just that, but
Shut up,
no
Hope.
good. None of my
Shut
instruments
up.
will tell me anything.
Oh, too bad, buddy.
It's just too hard to see.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. The sensors know it's
No,
there, all
I
right.
mean that I've reverted to a childlike
But-
state for some reason.
Yeah, that was... I'm sure that was made to please
It's
someone.
locked. Can I force it?
Scared
That might
you,
be beyond
man.
even you. Hold on a second. I'll see what I can do from here.
There's a lot of chaos building up back there.
Yes, indeed. And Snow's inside, or whatever's left of him.
Well, he has been living without hope for centuries. Now the world's about to end. He might have lost his mind entirely.
How could it have been centuries if time stopped?
If it were anyone else, I'd
How
say
can
that
there
was
be a
given.
century if time has stopped? Can you explain
Do you
that to
think
me?
he could have gotten
No.
broken even his spirit?
I hope not, but
Light, you've been spotted. You've got to get out of there now.
after coming all this way, I'm his last chance, damn it. I know what he's going through. The pain of losing Sarah.
That's true. If there's anything left of Snow, as the savior, you're the only one who can rescue him. That's why you have to protect yourself. If you're killed, it really...
Why am I listening to this?
I don't know. You keep doing this. You keep making the bad decisions.
Force of habit, I guess. trippy loading screen.
Once upon a time.
Oh God, no. Once upon a time, I committed a terrible sin. I skipped this cutscene. Oh God, this one too. Just stop.
Light, there's something I want to tell you.
And we won't see what he wants to tell her, because I'm skipping that.
As long as you're here, you're safe. When you're in the Ark...
It can stop the flow.
Yes, but the problem is...
It doesn't.
It should. Oh, Light, I almost forgot. I prepared some things for you. Gifts. Feel free to open all the containers you see here.
Budai mentions this game also ends with an insanely hard boss. Yeah, the 13 games were not good with the final boss design balance.
I didn't think the one in 13 was that bad.
It still has an instant death attack in a game where getting hit by an instant death attack with your primary party leader instantly ends the battle, so... Can't believe they finally, all of FF13 as a franchise was Motomo Toriyama working through the final ultimate evolution of all of his design ideas that had already gone into FF10-2. And that's why the dress-up mechanic's back here, and that's why the frickin' core mechanic of original 13 is just...
Good work.
What if everyone had to change jobs at the same time whenever you did a job shift like in FF10-2?
No, I don't want to talk to Hope. Just want to get out of this damn weird limbo thingy.
What can I get you?
Are you just gonna wander around the infinite white expanse?
No, I don't know what I have to do to get the hell out of here.
Talk to Hope about everything.
Who am I exactly?
God.
Do you need to talk?
He's got so much interesting things to say.
No, he doesn't.
The Ark is...
I'm just so fascinated by all this exposition. I wonder if Square will make a game, have a game they pack in an FF7 remake demo for. I feel like that's something you do if you already have a game that you're not confident in. You don't make a game just to sell it. I mean, like, FF7 remake is going to sell regardless of what they do. So they don't need a demo to convince people to buy it. So, like, we might see it if they're super unconfident in, like, I don't know, Left Alive, I guess? I'm trying to think of, like, a thing that'll come out between now and then that we know about already. That would be a weird pack-in, Left Alive FF7 remake demo. It'll be an FF7 remake demo on the Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray frickin' version of Advent Children Complete. Just like the FF13 demo was on the Blu-ray version of Advent Children Complete.
Yeah, 5 stars. There we go.
Finally, you have failed to bring shame upon your household.
No more lectures today. You can head for the surface and just remember...
You're giving...
There is a good reason. We can use the...
Blah, 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 blah. I hope you shut up.
Wow. Can't believe you'd use his name against him like this.
By using the...
It always seemed like the FF12 demo and DQ8 helped DQ8 sell more, but that could just be something I assume. I'm sure it helped somewhat, although, like, the kind of muted fanfare around 12 by that point, and the fact that, I mean, FF8, not FF8, DQ8 was not exactly a hot seller. It certainly sold more than DQ had sold in the West by then, but I think it still only sold about 500,000 units, which is good, but not a patch on something like a Final Fantasy game would have sold. Just turning this into Q&A Quest Live.
Q&A SideQuest.
Yeah.
The Usnam train is now...
Skip.
Man, I remember playing the DQ8 demo that came a few places. I got it off the PlayStation magazine that was running at the time. But I remember the demo for it, because it was such a long demo. I was like, when is this going to end? Like, when is the game going to tell me to stop? And it's like, because you have to do the initial Dragon Quest grind in order to get through it, and it's the entire first dungeon in the first, like, field area, so... It's a pretty long demo. I don't know what this man is doing.
The poor girl's soul is lost. Of the Order of Salvation.
You should head to
Time is now 9 p.m.
If you see any people who need help,
May the Holy
lend them a
Light
hand.
dispel the chaos.
It could be an opportunity to save a soul. The Savior's mission is to rescue the souls of people trapped in prison.
If you find new
The Order has locked the area down. Looks like you're stuck there until they've made progress in the investigation.
Good heavens. Those messages say that the Shadow Hunter will kill the Savior. If you believe what they say, Oracle, the heretics, I can't even imagine.
How is time moving in this world without time?
Don't think about it.
Okay.
God, he's been late before.
You're starting to...
Discussion of that, like, terrible bit of phrasing is now illegal. I'm going to, like, you can divine what they actually mean, but they're, like, it's super baffling and doesn't make a lot of sense. But imagine imagine the last child born before this happened. Just being a newborn for 500 years. So are you gonna try to extinct any monsters in this run?
You can do that?
Yeah, if you kill enough of a specific type of monster, you will find a powerful one, and it will just, if you kill that one, they're gone. Thing of the past.
Yeah, I'd love to do that to all of them.
Extinction level event. It's possible to do that to all of them. It's possible to, in a single 13-day run, finish everything, especially if you're using the time stop power fairly judiciously, but...
My controller is bugging out on me.
Yeah, this looks normal.
You should cooperate with the investigation. They're bound to open up other areas if they can make progress in the case. It'll be a...
Huh. You have information? Interesting. Thank you for sharing.
You should gather information and relay it to the Inquisitors. Once they have a good lead, they might be willing to lift the roadblocks.
Wait a minute.
I didn't mention any Shadow Hunter.
Don't tell me you don't know about the Shadow Hunter. Although it's not... Yeah, sure, so I never thought anything like... Damn it, I know I... What if the Elders believed I saw you coming? I figured you were with them.
This entire, text rendering mechanism does not look like it was built for a game where you could actually force the game to display text. It looks like it was, as it was, built for a game that, where it would occasionally display text, but you wouldn't have control over, the camera or its placement.
If you find new information regarding this case, inform the poor girl.
Bad and waiting for Kristen Northstar to drop in price since doing the public support that you get. Yeah, I'm not convinced that the sales on Lost Paradise paid off. I'm just making a guess there. I wish they had. I like it.
Said those people. Every night I can see them, those weirdos in their white cloaks. Whenever I see, if there's
go do the same thing, but with JoJo, and don't even question it.
That's vital information. Good work, Light. At this rate, you'll solve the murder in no time.
The end of the world. If you find new information regarding this case, inform me immediately.
You should head to areas with lots of foot traffic.
Stop talking, Hope. Stop talking.
He's never gonna do it, man.
Where's the turn off Hope option?
I don't think that exists.
God damn.
Or the plaza out in front.
I may have to download the Japanese voices pack.
I don't think that'll help it. It'll just be a high-pitched moppet.
This area is locked down.
Holmes, my shift replacement hasn't shown.
We're all fed up with Luna's train.
I'm terribly sorry. All the trains are shut down.
The inn's not open?
absolutely no one doubts that the people behind the killings are those heretics. The Order is conducting its inquisitions. The Etro fanatics who worship the goddess of death are all over the place. Just look for the sinister groups huddled together. It may mean nothing. Furtive conversation.
That was a valuable witness statement. I'm pretty sure the Inquisitor can use the information.
I'm pretty sure, Hope, that you can, kiss my ass.
Wow.
What is the prophecy they keep babbling about?
In recent days, they're sinister. I just overheard it went something. Now, all the victims, could there be a connection? I wonder if
The Inquisitor will definitely be very interested in this information.
This entire thing is just going to be you being really furious every time the game opens its mouth.
Yeah, sounds about right. Alright, where the hell did this Inquisitor go?
Okay, I'm going to comment a bit on the technical side. This does slow down less than it did on 360.
Yeah.
Where it just never ending. Anytime you were running through an open area, the frame rate was dipping.
I had been putting together a picture of the plot, but I was still missing important pieces. Not anymore. Thanks to your information, we have a good idea of what happened. We'll have to keep the blockades and...
You should head to areas with lots of foot traffic.
Shut up, Hope!
Better look at the station.
Shut up!
Or the plaza out in front.
Shut up!
She's like God's servant.
What sort of thought do you think went into shipping PS1 Classic with original DualShock versus
Lady! So these heretics
PS1 controller with
goddess, right?
Yeah, it didn't. DualShock is actually the third PS1 controller. There's also a dual analog controller with no vibration that came out briefly and no one used.
That's vital information.
Why did they use it? Cheaper? I think there might have been a misguided assumption that people are nostalgic for it. It's kind of a bad controller.
Yeah.
Like anything with the PS1 Classic, I don't think that a lot of thought went into it either way. Like, we're talking about a machine that, for some reason, it's including a game like Tekken 3, which is a fast fighting game. People want it to play like they remember it. It's using the European version in all regions. The 50 Hz version, that runs at 5/6 the speed of the original. I don't think they were thinking very hard about it or putting too much effort into it.
Probably not.
The Savior can use God's own holy power. With it, you can even manipulate the flow of time.
How can anyone control time?
Wait.
Holmes, my shift replacement.
Wait, I can control the flow of time, but time has stopped.
Don't think about it.
How can I not?
I've heard.
Only use it when it will count the most.
Okay, I'm now trying to Google to see what became of Chia Pets. They still make them! This sucks!
For your safety and security, the Public Transportation Office has directed all trains to suspend operations. Thank you for your understanding.
God, this list of things that they have made Chia Pets of suck really hard.
So there's this place called the Forsaken Grave. What I've heard is that a bunch of
list of things you can get as a Chia Pet: Garfield, Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes, Shrek, The Simpsons, and SpongeBob. Additionally, there are Chia Pets depicting real people, including Barack Obama and Bob Ross.
But what's their objective? What could they be after?
Damn. Sure.
Chia emoji!
See the dummy with the rose-colored... Now, don't... when this... You know...
One of them put... Don't worry.
Two different Chia Obamas. Chia Obama determined that Chia Obama.
I'll talk to the Inquisitors. Hopefully get these gates open.
Fishy. I'm talking about the strange man I... In fact, I've seen him a few times. These last few days. He doesn't just lurk. I've seen him talk to the goddess believers who gather here. That's strange, right? When he realized I was staring at him, he melted into the shadows and disappeared. But with the Order's lockdown, he can't have gone very far. He can stay low, but he's got to come out of hiding. If we all keep our eyes peeled, we'll spot him eventually.
They are rebooting Shrek.
Yeah, the Shrekkening.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about 20 years. It's about time for new kids to grow up and get Shrek.
We've managed to...
Let me get
Shrek 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You have your own sources, I see.
That happened. Shrek 2 was the good one, remember?
That's right. Shrek 2/2-2.
Oh man, finally on the level of 7 Dragon.
If you think you're faithful.
But like, I mean, it seems like now would be the time to remake that property. The original is such a product of I just got finished watching all of the 90s Disney movies and I'm pissed off now.
For your safety and security, please proceed with your business in a calm and orderly manner.
Let's all imagine what would have happened if the version of Shrek originally conceived, where Shrek would be voiced by Chris Farley, had happened. I think there might be some recorded voice of that. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, CNN in 2015 reported there was a public clip of Chris Farley as Shrek. And it's been taken down.
Light, I'm detecting monsters. Move carefully through this area. Light, you can escape from battle.
By all accounts, they heavily rewrote the script after Chris Farley died, so...
A price? What kind
I
of
don't
price?
think that there's any clear indication of what that role would have been like in that situation.
And that of this world. The more you run, the less
God, how old was he when he died? It's like 28.
In short, you'll give up about an hour of your precious It might be wise.
There have been so many frightening incidents.
He was 33.
The children of Etro and the Shadow Hunter. What are they after? Luxarian is the divine city of...
People also search for John Candy, John Belushi, Phil Hartman.
This will be your last battle. You're down.
Had Phil Hartman survived, he would be 70 this year.
No.
Can we talk about how, an actual special marketed to children was called Scared Shrekless?
What?
Yeah, that was the... That was the Halloween special. You know, for kids.
I'm glad you want to hone your skills, but don't forget the task at hand. suspicious around here. If you want to help out with the case, it might be a good idea to head back to the station for clues.
Sorry, I'm out of where.
Come in and learn our secret arts.
Illuminate the night in most awe-inspiring way. Stand up from high above, a name like a precious poem. Let me sing the song to you, gracious savior of our souls.
It might be wise to go back to the station plaza. Killers are sometimes drawn back to the crime scene to revel in their work.
It's not the safe. It may be old. You'd never find me in the Warren, though.
I forget where the heck I'm supposed to go.
You're doing a sterling job here.
Yeah.
Wandering around in this game, not knowing where to go in this time of the game is not a great thing to get.
No.
I think you probably have like a quest journal that you could be going to look at.
Probably.
I'm not sure why everything in this world looks like it's made out of scraps. Nothing looks like it was designed by humans, it all just looks like it sort of fell here.
Make sure you stay hidden. The heretics are on the move. You need to follow them discreetly and figure out where they're headed.
Follow discreetly. I wonder how much of this game's structure was designed by Triads outside of the battle. I'd honestly guess probably more of them bleeds into this game structure than it does in the battle system. The battle system has Triads touches certainly, but I mean it's also got a lot of Epic 13 DNA in it.
Yeah.
Better get ready for the next fight.
Light, careful! They see you. Make sure you stay hidden in the shadows.
Obligatory stealth section. Obligatory stealth section.
Yeah! Don't do this, video games. Just don't.
heretical savior will die at the hands of the Shadow Hunter? I sure don't like the sound of that. When they say savior, do you think...
It's me, alright. It has to be. But who's the Shadow Hunter?
I don't know. Right now, no one else does either. The information's incomplete at best. But the Order thinks he could be the leader of the heretics.
So if the Shadow Hunter leads...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a non-stealth game with good stealth. And I'm not counting, like, things that have stealth as, like, an option, but also have action as an option, because, I mean, like... Those games are part stealth games.
Yeah.
But, like, a game that just has, like, the one stealth section. Like, I kind of like the bit where the behemoth is stalking you in FF15, but at the same time, like, that's still not a compelling gameplay section. It's just the way that it makes you understand the game's world and how much, like, oh, running into a behemoth would be like a, no, I need to turn around now situation. It's not actually a fun gameplay.
Uh-oh, I walked around a corner. They can't see me anymore.
The heretics are on the move. You need to follow their lead and figure out where they're headed. Stay out of sight and see what they're up to. Do you see anything you can hide behind?
If you enjoyed the stealth section in Breath of the Wild, that was probably my least favorite part, but I mean, it was fine. Mostly because, like everything in Breath of the Wild, it offered a lot of space for improvisation.
Yeah.
In the forest of darkness, chaos holds sway.
They're all crowding around this
to the goddess
phone
of death.
Booth?
These numbers, I say.
Why is there a
7,
phone
8,
booth?
9, 1.
The rest are beginning to make haste.
Why is any of this... Why?
See that? I think I just found my invitation to the party.
Yeah, so when the phone rings, you have to give them a 4-digit code. Simple, if you have the numbers.
Right, simple. So any bright ideas about how to do that? I mean, considering you're doling out advice.
Head back to town and see what you can uncover.
Thinking about how one of the rarest Atari 2600 games that anyone wants to track down is the one that's based on frickin' chuck wagon dog food. Loose cart, $65.
The heretical cult, the so-called Children of Etro, are behind the murders. They become increasingly visible in the city. Judging by the tone of their message, they view the Savior as their enemy. What I don't understand is why they would target you. You're here to save souls and guide them to a new world. Why wouldn't they want that?
It's not that clear-cut. To some, God's Savior looks as much a murderer as these maniacs do. I'm not surprised they're afraid.
Don't worry. Even if the world hates you, I'll always be by your side, Light. What do you want to do? Will you go looking for that code?
The children
Oh
of
good,
Etro
there's
are
currently a
gathering
listing
now.
on
They'll be out of my reach until
Chase the Chuck Wagon on eBay for $159.
Just wait here until then. Why not get out of the city for a while?
I might as well. There's not much time left. I won't waste it.
Yes.
Think of the savings you could have had if you had just sent in all of your Ralston Purina coupons.
May decide the very fate of the world.
Remember when Cloud busts out a cell phone in Advent told him that he had a cell phone in regular Advent, so that's what the PHS is.
And there's another station on the south side of Luxarian.
I saw something else use the abbreviation PHS. I'd love to remember what it stood for, because it's just like You pulled out a phone and you called it a VHS. That must mean something in Japan.
You disgust me.
Today, the City of Light. A great number of let us offer prayers once again to great Benevenza, so that he might be merciful to the forsaken souls, they who have lost all hope of seeing.
This is Luxarian's North Station. The trains here shuttle back and forth between Luxarian and Yusnan, the city that never sleeps. There is another station...
The city that never sleeps, but there's no time, so...
Any attempt to interrogate that incredibly ill-advised concept just produces more problems.
I suppose you've heard about everything you could possibly need.
The graveyard is just around.
Couldn't even imagine such a terror.
Now. Now. You will be reborn.
At this point, you're just killing all the local wildlife.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure you have an objective. What is Lightning's real name? Depending upon what side of the Pacific you're on, Claire or Eclair Farron. They changed her name because it would just sound like pastry more or less. Wouldn't be the first time they did that with the protagonist, although with 6 it was more just like, Tina's supposed to sound exotic, that doesn't sound exotic at all in the US.
Eyes to the future.
I was asking what the meaning of this game's ending was. As far as Toriana ever let on, the answer is that, yeah, Lightning now lives in real-world France.
What?
The ending of this game's real frickin' dumb. It's very much like the Chrono Cross ending, actually. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you must have. You were there from the cross.
Time can't be stopped.
The famous Tina at the time of F6 was like Tina Turner. Yeah, but it was also just like, oh, that's just a name American girls have sometimes. Whereas, if you just get on,
possibly.
Only every time that the stream bit rate gets lower and like it just gets really blurry, I think, am I dying? That's what dying is.
Your escape just now cost you an hour here.
Well, you got super owned.
Yep.
And now you're gone.
It's nearly 6. I'm sure you know what that means. No need to tie up any loose ends, though. Time stands still in this world while you're up in the Ark. It's a pretty handy system, isn't it?
Don't worry, time stands still. Even though there is no time anymore.
Time is an illusion.
Gotta be a way to bring up a whole map in this damn game.
Hit like the select button.
No, that actually just closes the
Remind you
mini-map.
that it's almost 6, and you know what happens then. When it's time, you'll be transported automatically up to the Ark.
There's a map option on the main menu. What did that do?
I got it.
Welcome back, Light. Now step forward and offer your Aradia so we can give time back to the world.
My eyes. I like how he needed a shorter name for her.
Come here and I'll tell you what
so
you
he
need to
calls
know.
her Light instead of Claire.
This is Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life. It's a holy tree, and its life force is entwined with that of the world. Aradia gives Yggdrasil the power to grow. As the tree grows stronger, so too does the world. With enough Aradia, you can extend its life and push back the Day of Destruction. Up to 13 days, after which God awakens.
Did it again, caught myself listening to story.
You keep doing that, and it only every time you actually hear a line from it, you just get pissed off. So I'm not sure why you're doing it.
Light, do you want the more souls you? Rest up a while. In this world, all the clocks count to 12, but that wasn't always the case. Back in the old days, somehow, when the chaos first flooded into the world, we lost that 13th hour. It was one of the great mysteries. No one could figure it out. But happen, it did. And the result? Space-time has been damaged. Where once each day lasted 26 hours, now 2 hours of every day gone, just like that. The lost time. Do you need to talk? Good work, Light.
Red Mage, it's the Boba Fett of the Final Fantasy, cool and popular, but sort of useless in the actual source material. Yeah, I mean, like, in Final Fantasy 1, the Red Mage is probably your better choice compared to the other mages, just because the intelligence stat doesn't work and there's not enough spells worth casting to worry about the limited spell schools and spell charges, but past the broken bug to hell NES version, yeah, pretty much.
There's a hard truth. Rest up a while.
Sometimes think about, like, leading the life of Jim Hanks, whose entire career has been, well, Tom Hanks didn't want to come back to voice this character for the moment, so...
I don't want that on my conscience.
You know, you sound like him, you're his brother, you can do it. And that's just his life.
Alright, I gotta stop here because I'm running out of steam.
Yeah, you sound like you're dying, so...
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I rambled a lot. I had a good time. As one last note, Budai said, the fighters in FF1 were just so much better than all the other classes. Monk's decent. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna fire up this for a few minutes for the hell of it.
Why not? Is this 2?
1.5.
Mirror of Fate, why would you do that to yourself?
That's the only one that doesn't require me to get up and get a disc.
Yeah, but it sucks huge ass. At least it won't run at 10 frames a second anymore, I guess. Oh, you're just starting this game from the beginning?
Yeah.
You're gonna be sitting through a lot of cutscenes, buddy. Did you just give up?
Yes. Yes, I did.
That was quick. Oh, there's a lot of games on this list. Hey, Prince Persia.
Yep.
That's a good game. He's the leader of the bunch. Remember when they made Splinter Cell games?
I do. It's been a while.
R.I.P. That makes it sound like you picked something.
I have not.
You're just scrolling up and down for the sheer joy of it.
Yeah.
Remember when Max Payne was a big franchise? Yeah, it's been a little while. I mean, Max Payne 3 seemed to do pretty well for itself as far as sales. I'm not sure if Rockstar is still continuing it, though. Just start up a game and immediately decide against it.
Yeah.
Coward.
Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
He's back. Are you getting Spyro? I'm still waiting for them to announce the Switch version. Because they will.
Will they?
I mean, yes, probably.
I never played the original Spyro, so...
They're decent. I feel like the level design of Spyro 2 essentially became the Insomniac default level design philosophy for the next... Ratchet and Clank was in 2016?
Yeah.
18 years.
What? Hey? I need to put in the game disc. God damn it.
Really?
There we go.
Making it my goal in life to just respond to every reference to the Game Boy with, "You like games, boy?" Just over and over. Till I'm shunned from polite society.
Castlevania Lords of Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart just talking and talking until he sort of sounds kind of bored and dead.
It still sounds way better than basically anyone else.
It's true, it's true. It was always weird to me that in Lords of Shadow 1... which one are you playing right now? I wasn't paying attention.
2.
Okay. That in Lords of Shadow 1, and I think maybe this streak continues into 2, Gabriel coincidentally kills literally every woman he meets. That was a little upsetting. Oh, are you turning off QTEs or leaving them on?
I forget.
Oh, is this one of the stealth segments? I keep forgetting those exist.
These enemies look like they were pulled straight out of Warhammer 40k.
I don't know much about the Warhammer 40k aesthetic because every time someone mentions Warhammer 40k, my brain violently rejects all information. I remember when, like, the game Space Marine came out, and I was like, that's the shittiest name imaginable. And a friend of mine who's like a 40k fan was like, no, it's like they've always called them Space Marines. And it's like, I don't care. It's a terrible name. Oh no, bats!
Uh-oh, they're going batty.
Wow. Well, that sucks. I don't fully understand why this game had stealth segments. What? Oh. Oh, yeah, that happened.
Something is going on at Biochemic Corporation.
A death well earned.
It told me to jump there.
A death well earned.
But it told me to jump there. I don't understand.
I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I continue to insist as I slowly shrink and transform into a corn cob.
Can't seem to jump off this ladder.
Jumping is hard. Jumping is in fact useless. Wonder if Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the complete version, or if they will release another version of the game like Final Mix. Seems like DLC has made Final Mix versions a little obsolete. Yeah, I'd suspect that any updates to KH3 end up as DLC, and then that DLC gets released in on a Blu-ray with the base game as Final Mix.
Who are you?
Follow me if you wish to recover your sword.
I forgot about this character. I don't remember the scene at all.
You know?
Nope.
What kind of miracle is this?
Good stuff.
Am I truly here?
finally, we're in Castlevania City.
That blood is clogging the mechanism.
Shadow Dagger. Spooky Dracula game. Can't believe you weren't playing this on Halloween.
Pretty sure it was, actually.
Wow. Haven't heard about that Namco Bandai Souls-like game in a while. Code Vein? Yeah, I think last I heard about it had been delayed into early 2019. We could probably see that slipping into summer.
Yeah.
I heard it was looking kind of rough last time it came out. Came around. But hey, it's a Goshina soundtrack. Forget, you have what weapons in this game? You have like the whip, but you also have some other things.
The flame fisty thingies.
Yeah.
And the void swordy thingy.
Yeah. Those generally felt better than the whip did in the first game, which I appreciated. Excuse me, I must be lore consistent. The combat cross. Learning all about physics.
Fuck physics.
Physics are hard, man.
Hasn't he like turned into a bat and flown away in cutscenes before? Why the fuck can't I do that?
Because platforming is good. How do we feel about the PS2 3D TVs? I like them generally. They're much lower budget, and it kind of shows. Like, they needed more budget than Konami was willing to assign to them, but... I mean, I think that they have a lot of design chops, and they make good use of what budget Konami was willing to assign them. The thing that always struck me is that they didn't have budget enough to work out like a good 3D platforming camera, so they kind of went away from platforming as the thing that would define them, and leaned variously on combat and exploration to try to take that mantle. Curse of Darkness also has an amazing, like, pseudo sort of sub-quest going on with it, where you just try to sit in every chair in the game. It's really good. They're completely ridiculous looking. I get that they're trying to make the swang look realistic, but the way that it snaps to the direction it needs to go to if you change axes in which you're swaying on just completely destroys the illusion. They probably shouldn't have bothered.
Trevor.
Speaking of the sword.
The Void Sword. Don't leave us, my prince. Don't go. Your place is here. This is your home. We are your true
Shorty boy.
Come back, my prince.
We are your family. Don't go.
Don't you dare ignore.
Well.
Where you're going. You are nothing without
must
That was
the Void
many deaths.
This is your place, Lord.
How well Darksiders 3 will do. I don't know that Deep Silver is going to throw enough marketing money behind it to do what it needs to. That would be my biggest concern at this stage, is that Darksiders is a known enough quantity, but I don't know how much money they need to throw at it to make it like a breakout success.
Yes.
I mean, they could probably save money by firing whoever called the game Darksiders War Mastered. It's not a pun.
What was the Darksiders 2 remaster called again?
Like, that one's a bad pun, but it's Darksiders 2 Definitive. Like, that's a really bad joke, but it is actually a joke. War Mastered is just you put war in that didn't have a second thought.
How about Red Faction Remastered?
That one I hate, just for that name. I don't remember which Red Faction that was remastering. Was that Guerrilla?
Yeah.
Remember when Red Faction was this like Half-Life knockoff first-person shooter? Geobombed. Gorilla, and it wasn't that bad for a game I got for $2. Yeah, Gorilla's fun. Bonks. Realistically, the worst Red Faction game is probably like Red Faction 2. I don't think anyone remembers that that can happen. Okay, you left it.
Yeah.
Like that. It's interesting when the game totally shifts from what Mission was and what Borderlands is trying to be a realistic game. I didn't follow Borderlands' development. I've heard about that in retrospect, but I mean, like, that happened to Gearbox a lot around that time. Not sure if you remember their Brothers in Arms franchise that went through a brutal transmogrification so much that they renamed the game and then canceled it anyway. I'll worry about Brothers in Arms Furious 4. Did Hell's Highway ever actually come out?
I don't think so.
What 30 blood we did, yes, on 4.
You will never escape.
Hell's Highway, okay. No, Hell's Highway came. I think it was so late in the World War II shooter's lifespan that I don't think people really cared. Yeah, and then there's Furious 4, which I believe got summarily cancelled. Right around the time they made mention of it. And then it got pushed, most of its elements got put into Battleborn, which you remember that happened. So, that came out right at the same time as Overwatch and got completely massacred.
Oh yeah.
I think the most amusing thing about Battleborn is that noticing the internet's collective horny for Overwatch and how much that has benefited the game's marketing. Like Randy Pitchford, like, tweeted out a link to like a Battleborn porn Reddit that seemingly only had like a post. And people suspected he might have made it. Persia. Sands of Time to Warrior Within on PS2 was an odd one. That one's definitely like one of, well, marketing said the reason this one didn't work was that it seemed too much like a fairy tale. So here's a soundtrack by your beloved mid-90s, mid-aughts band Godsmack. But, oh, they stored this. Well, that sucks. But yeah, it was very much one of those corporate mandate things. I thought it was impressive that Two Thrones actually did a good job of reconciling the tone between Sands of Time and Warrior Within. Was good.
It was a perfect way to end the trilogy.
Yep. Forgotten Sands only kind of happened.
Completely forgotten.
It's a solid enough game. I mean, you just wanted that kind of game, but I mean, I'd rather they had made a 08-2, which they didn't. Can we do that? Can we go back and get the Prince of Persia 08-2?
Yes, please.
Listen, Ubisoft, if you make a Prince of Persia 08-2, I promise I will buy however many bad Tom Clancy games I need as recompense. When are you gonna do a nice stream of talk?
Into this family. You belong to us.
And thus, Javathi proved himself superior to a rock. Solid as a rock. It is like 2:30 a.m. for you.
Yeah, I can turn this off in just a second. By which I mean right now. So, off goes stream.
Good night, sweet prince. And may flights of angels